with y'all? It's your boy Easy, back with another video. And today we're doing another segment of Blur's Paradise, where a woman decides to slander Miles Morales' name. And I ain't gonna stand for it. Without further ado, stop on in.
Miles Morales is Miles Morales. However, you know just as much as I do that they have been trying to shoehorn Miles Morales into Peter Parker's Spider-Man space. Miles Morales is the real Spider-Man now because we are completely eliminating an existing character and pushing him out of the picture. He doesn't matter anymore, especially, well, first they're going to cuck him, then they're going to push him out of the picture. All right, that is what has happened, but now, I mean, it's already been going on enough in the comics.
What? Like, what? Did you not listen to Stan Lee the entire time he was talking about why they wear the Spider-Man costume or how he became of it?
His costume. What? He is completely covered. So any kid could imagine he's Spider-Man because no color of the skin shows. He could be black under that. He could be red. He could be yellow. He could belong to any race. And that wasn't done purposely. It was done accidentally. But I think it was the best thing we did, making him so that he could be anybody under that costume.
He's covered head to toe. It doesn't matter if they're white, black, or whatever. Anybody can be Spider-Man. So with this opening statement,
Miles Morales is the real Spider-Man now because we are completely eliminating an existing character and pushing him out of the picture. He doesn't matter anymore, especially, well, first they're going to cuck him, then they're going to push him out of the picture. All right.
is this a racial thing? Is it because he's black or whatever? Because there's 100 or more Spider-Mans out there. And last time I checked, they're not trying to shoehorn Peter Parker from being Spider-Man and just tossing Miles into being the main Spider-Man. That's never been the case. If anything, they've been shafting Miles for years. The man's been out since like 2011 and he's been treated like a side character the entire time, not an actual true Spider-Man on his own. Even though he's been the main Spider-Man before. But you know, I digress. Continue on what you were saying.
Well, now they are trying to do this in the video games as well. If you don't want any spoilers about Spider-Man 2 because you writers break down the game's big spoilers, okay? And we've already seen in headlines and stuff all over on Twitter. Basically, in the next game and moving forward, Miles Morales, he is Spider-Man now. He is Spider-Man now, okay. I have a lot of opinions to be said here, and I'll share some more as I continue reading this, but let's...
Okay, so my theory may be correct. Is this a racial thing? Because you do know Spider-Man's not the only one that's had multiple Spider-Mans. You do realize Wolverine wasn't just Logan, it was Laura as well. Batman wasn't always just Bruce Wayne. You had Terry, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, countless others. Superman wasn't the only Superman. Barry Allen isn't the only Flash. And don't even get me started on the Green Lantern Corps. That alone is too many. So the real question is, what is your issue with Miles? Why do you care so much that he's taking over as the main Spider-Man in the game, just in the game? What is the real issue? Is it the fact that he's just some black kid that took over, or what? You feel like he's just a side character that finally gets his shot as the main Spider-Man? Newsflash, lady, there's over 100 Spider-Mans across the whole Spideyverse. If you didn't see the movie or you don't read the books, there's plenty of them. There's a fucking T-Rex Spider-Man. So I truly don't know what's your issue, but I guess I'm just gonna keep continuing with this video to see on what really is the issue, because right now you lost me. You lost me, because that whole statement of them cucking Peter just so they can just roll in with Miles is probably the wildest statement ever. And it was an L take on your part though. But again, I'm gonna let you continue.
Let's move forward. Insomniac Games' Brittany Morris and Ben Arfman on creating the twists and turns throughout Marvel's Spider-Man 2's story campaign. Okay? So here we've got spoiler warnings. Like the original Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales before it, the recently released Spider-Man 2 is a bombastic superhero journey with two Spider-Men on hand in Peter Parker and Miles Morales, plus the introductions of Kraven the Hunter and the alien symbiote who will become Venom. The sequel can't help being a bigger beast with more stakes and big plot turns worth talking about. Naturally, we just had to pick the Insomniac Games team's brains about how those decisions were made and what they could possibly lead to down the line. Days before the game's release, Insomniac's narrative director, Ben Arfman, and advanced writer, Brittany Morris, had a spoiler-heavy discussion with IO9 about Marvel's Spider-Man 2, which covers both the main story and some side mission content. Now, before I continue on this, I'm just going to say, I don't know how regular, like, super Spider-Man fans, right? Because, I mean, I grew up with Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man. But I'm talking super fans, like the equivalent of how I am with Lara Croft and Tomb Raider, for example. I don't know how they can actually tolerate this duo, even the duo, not even to mention the, Miles Morales taking over, but just the duo element of it, because I just know if there was a Tomb Raider game that came out and it's like, oh, here's a secondary character that's going to take up half of the limelight, I would be furious. And now the only game we've actually seen that kind of happen, in terms of especially classic Lara, which I care about, the new stuff, I'm not invested in that whatsoever right now. But in terms of classic Lara, we had like Curtis Trent in Angel of Darkness, for example, but he was in just a very minute section of the game, in terms of playable character. So I forgave it. I was okay with it because I did like Curtis as well as a character. But would I ever like a character to roll in, especially one that imitated her? Because even in that case, Curtis doesn't imitate her. Here we have someone that's literally they're calling him Spider-Man. So if there was here's another woman who's an archaeologist who is like Lara Croft but different, we're gonna throw her in and give her a huge spotlight in Lara Croft's own franchise, I would be furious. Just saying. And I'm about to sneeze.
Bro, oh my god. Shawty, what I just say? There's multiple Spider-Mans, bro. What is your deal with Miles, bro? You don't like the whole tandem thing? Pick up a book. They've been in the same universe together. They done the whole partnership thing together. And guess what? Miles took over afterwards. Pick a book up. Bro, these takes are horrible. I get it. You don't like the whole tandem thing. Get over it. You don't like the whole him taking over it. Get over it. You try to make a fucking example with the whole Lara Croft, excuse me, good lord, I can't talk. Lara Croft situation in the games. That is not it. Cause now you're still trying to be disrespectful and saying they're not even calling Miles Spider-Man. Pick up a book. They actually call him Spider-Man. They actually were a partnership in the books, bro. Pick up a book. I can't repeat this shit enough. Pick up a book. You have the wildest ignorant takes right now. It just sounds like a whole tandem of you're not getting your way and they're just making you mad over the simplest things. And in fact, these are all things you can really look in a book, or you can just use a magical thing in the world, Google. This is so stupid, bro. You are like complaining and crying about the dumb shit that you just don't want a new Spider-Man. Well, guess what, shawty? There's 100 Spider-Mans, like I said earlier. You don't want a black Spider-Man? Guess what? There's an Indian Spider-Man. You don't want an Indian Spider-Man? Guess what? There's a pig Spider-Man. You kidding me right now? There's a pig Spider-Man. There's an Asian Spider-Man. Oh yeah, there's another Mexican Spider-Man. Miguel O'Hara. You want girls? You got Gwen Stacy, you got Jessica, you got Silk. What else you want? What else do you want, bro? Because you are not... Alright, let me go now. you are not educated enough in the Spider-Man stuff to the point where you can say these takes. So I'm glad you say you're not a super Spider-Man fan, but you grew up with it. But clearly, you're just saying whatever just to say it. You don't know not even a quarter, or at least a good amount, till you know that this thing's already been done before. They just put it in a video game. And other heroes give the name and the mantle to somebody else. They don't stay like that forever if you didn't know. But again, I'm just rambling on. Continue.
Okay, so there was like a continue reading tab. All right, so this says, you said earlier you basically knew right away that you wanted playable Venom. Does that also apply to ending this game with Miles as the main Spider-Man from now on? All right, let's see what Morris says. Morris says, it always felt very natural, and I think we all collectively thought it would happen. To me, it shows a great deal of evolution from Miles. At the beginning of the game, we see him struggling to figure out what he wants to do with his life. By the end, we had Miles carrying the burden of saving the city, and also carrying Pete when Pete wasn't strong enough to carry himself at various points. See, exactly. It's like, okay, we need the main character to actually need to get carried, physically actually carried by this character that we're trying to get overshadow him, right? That's what's been so cool about writing a story about two Spider-Men. They're both strong, and one of them can be strong when the other is not. By the end, Miles is more confident, and he's like, yeah, I got this. How much worse can things get after what we just went through? And then Arfman says, to echo what Brittany said, the idea of a two Spider-Man story was always really essential to this game. I think pretty early on we knew that we wanted to have that moment of handing the reins over. That's what we see with established franchises all the time. Surprised the reins aren't being handed over to a woman who's better than him at everything, but I digress.
Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna keep repeating myself, but you know, I feel like this one's kind of obvious. Are you afraid of change? Are you afraid of change? Like, honestly speaking. Because him taking the reins over is just a natural part of change. Like, I'm gonna go back to my first statement. Multiple heroes have all had the same name. Like, at this point, you do have something against like them changing Peter in just a video game alone. I wonder how you reacted to them having this shit in the movies, dog. Like, you probably freaked the hell out. Or in the damn shows or whatever. But like, this all happened, Jody. If you're afraid of change, just say that. That's all you gotta do. If you're afraid of change, just say that. Because I hope you keep that same energy when it comes to Batman, when it comes to The Flash, when it comes to Spidey, when it comes to Wolverine, when it comes to multiple heroes. Because at the end of the day, you just sound like a pure hater that just wants what she wants. It's a video game. Don't worry. Peter's not going anywhere. He's literally the pivotal fucking Spider-Man. He's literally the OG Spider-Man. We all can respect that man. Trust me. He's the guy. We got it. Whoop-de-doo. But at the end of the day, you was afraid that they're going to just like, oh, might as well put a female Spider-Man in there as well too. Hate to break it to you. Already done. But, you know, you should knew that, but I don't think you know that. But spoiler alerts, girl. There are female Spider-Mans. There's a lot of Spider-Mans out there. I'm not gonna keep repeating myself. I'm gonna let you finish. Hopefully you don't say anything else unbearable, but continue.
And as we developed it, as we started to lay down more track leading up to that moment, it just felt more and more right. I think it was John who wrote that scene in Aunt May's garage, and it's one of my favorite scenes. The way that Miles intuits exactly what Pete is thinking and stops him from stumbling through trying to hand over the mask. Miles going, you know, I got this, bro. It's such a great moment between the two of them, and it felt like such a natural collision. I'm not sure when specifically we decided to do that, but it always felt like the only way the game could end. Okay, so they keep talking. Okay, so now they're doing this. All right, that's basically it, right? So yeah, this, I mean, you should be able to see the writing on the wall with all this. I mean, a duo, you start out, you have the original Spider-Man game, right? That's focused on Peter Parker's Spider-Man. You got the DLC, Miles Morales. That I mean, to me, it's a standalone, but it's basically DLC, right? It's Miles Morales' own adventure now. All right, there's the introduction to video game Miles Morales. Then, let's put them together now. I mean, it's the writing is all there on the wall. You can see this from a mile away, especially since this is very current day writing to take an existing character and have him overshadowed by usually a woman or, someone who's not a white male in this case. So, yeah, that's exactly what has happened. And I'm very curious to see how that will go. Because
all right, I'm about to wrap this shit up because I think you disproved my theory correct. You don't like change, and two, this might be slight racial in there. That you don't like. There's a black Spider-Man. Well, tough titties. There's a black Spider-Man. There's a lot of minority Spider-Mans in there, and on top of that, there's a female Spider-Man. Bunch of them. So yeah, you just got a weird beef with the whole Spider-Verse and the fact that you can't accept that Peter's not the only Spider-Man, and the fact that eventually somebody else takes over the reins as Spider-Man. But guess what, shawty? Get over it. It's been done. We've been swapped all these characters since like the 70s, bro. Like, get over it. You tripping over nothing. You made this whole video over nothing. Saying Miles is just Miles, that's like saying Peter's just Peter. Gwen Stacy is just Gwen Stacy. They're all Spider-Man. If you need a refresher, go watch Stan Lee's words about creating the Spider-Man suit when he's getting interviewed by Larry King. Go watch that again. You might learn something. Miles is Peter. Miles is, oh my god. Miles is Spider-Man. Peter is Spider-Man. Spider-Ham is Spider-Man. Miguel O'Hara is Spider-Man. Ben Parker is Spider-Man. Get over it. Get over it. It is not that deep. It's literally not that deep. You made this shit a lot worse than it needed to be. And honestly, this was like a lot of bad takes over and over again, and I feel like I repeated myself way too much. So I'm not even going to continue on with this video, just listening on to the rest of your rambling. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to waste my breath. So, if y'all like this video, leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.